So today I'm going to talk about two things. One is about the population policy that is uh, made to become in near future, and second thing is about the dichotomy and dualism in geography. So the need and what exactly will the policy be? I have already dealt in last video. Now in this video I want to take your attention to a very important concept in general studies as well as in geography. It is known as the optimum population theory concept. In this theory, the population of a country is over or overpopulation or underpopulation or optimum depends upon the technology level with which the country can harness its available resources. That is, for a given technology level of say 1870s, the population today is highly over in India is highly overpopulated. But say the technology of 3020, that is 3020 year 3020, then this population, that is 130 billion 130 million people or 130 crores people, may not be overpopulation. It may be optimum, or in most of the cases it would be underpopulation. So we understand that population is never over or under or optimum as per its number, but it is more dependent upon how much resource is available per capita for a person to live sustainably. So this is the basic funda of overpopulation, underpopulation and optimum population. If we apply this theory to uh, the present population of India, certainly we are overpopulated, so we need to control it, because at present level of resources and its utilizational technologies, we cannot feed such a large population. Therefore, a population policy is needed and warranted. Now, let's talk about the dichotomy and dualism in geography. So I yesterday I talked about various kind of dichotomy and dualism. So we begin with physical versus human geography debate. Now, both physical and human geography has been in the mainstream geography from time immemorial, from the time of ancient Plato, ancient Greeks and Romans. That is, in the works of ancient Greeks and Roman also we find both of these things, physical geography as well as human geography. Although the focus was more on physical geography, especially the role of nature in determining man's life, in how man lives in accordance with the nature. But there were some scholars who wrote extensively on human geographical aspect, especially cultural geography. For example, in the work of Strabo we find the culture of various places. And similarly in the works of the medieval times, that is Arabs and Arabs merchant, we find again this debate of we again find this physical and human geography thing. However, till this time these two were not segregated or separated. They were one and all, one and the same thing in geography. Both of them were part and parcel of geography. The first difference was identified by the famous geographer Varenius, which he talked about in his book Geographia Generalis, which I have already talked about when I was dealing with areal differentiation. Now, in Geographia Generalis, he said that the physical geography, or say the human geography, is a type of geography that actually collects data for a better understanding of the entire earth. So physical geography gives us laws, and which he called Geographia Generalis, and human geography he called as special geography. Similarly, Kant argued for a exceptionalist approach that I have talked in areal differentiation, and the same theory and the same timeline that goes with areal differentiation also goes with this physical versus human geography debate. So I'll not go into it this time. For that you can see my video that I have already uploaded, the first, second and probably the third class. Now I'll go directly to systematic versus regional geography approach. Now regional geography is nothing but areal differentiation, as I have already discussed, and systematic geography, as we can understand, is something related to a system or say we want to make laws regarding something. So if when we study a region and see what are the different characteristic of a region, then we are going with the regional aspect of geography. And when we compare various regions of the world to get a differential factor or similarity factor, then we call it as a systematic geography. Therefore if we study climate, if we study tundra type of climate, or say Mediterranean type of climate, or tropical climate, temperate climate, continental climate, any kind of climate, then this it is more a systematic approach in geography. Why? Because Mediterranean climate is not only restricted to Mediterranean region, it is also found in North America, South America, some parts of South Africa, Australia, etc. So we see that in this geography we are dealing with common phenomena spread over the surface of the earth. However, in regional geography we study different phenomena concentrated in a region. For example, if we study India, we study the climate of India, the physiology of India, the oceanography of Indian Ocean, and then we study the resources of India, the agriculture of India, the industries in India, and so on, and so the population in India, settlements in India, the regional planning in India, and so on and so forth. So we understand that geography can be seen as both systematic and regional. Hartshorne believed more in regional aspect, whereas Schoffer and quantitative revolution paradigm believe more in systematic approach. So we see that in systematic approach there is more inclination towards a law building procedure. This approach builds law, so it is more nomothetic, and the way can be both deductionist and as well as uh, mm, ideo and the way can be both as deductionist and inductionist. That is, both deduction approach and induction approach is applicable in this subdomain of geography. So after this we try to find out what is the difference between contemporary geography and historical geography. Now historical geography basically deals with what history has shaped the present geography. So this history can be as old as the formation of earth, that is 4.2 billion years ago, or it can be as new as the time that has just elapsed. So we have to understand that in historical geography we try to find out the historical factors for which are responsible for geography, both physical and human. Physical geography, for example, will be more inclined towards the plate tectonics in the area, or how the fold and faults are there. So that will lead to what kind of orography is there, that is what kind of mountain there, what is the relief there, what is the type of drainage basin there, and so on and so forth. Whereas the human part will more deal with how geography has led to development of certain culture, how that culture led to development of settlements, and etc. Contemporary geography more deals with how this settlement or this historical factor is playing in today's world, what is the role. So it is more inclined towards geopolitics, that for example the Arabian nations today, especially South Arabia, the Arabian Gulf nation, especially the Saudi Arabia, the Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, Yemen, UAE, etc. They are oil rich country, so their geopolitics is more revolving around the petroleum and its product. Therefore the geography can also be termed as a petrodollar geography. Similarly, Indian geography in contemporary time revolves around agriculture and services. So we study this in contemporary geography. So we understand that both physical and human geography are related to one another. Similarly, systematic and regional geography are also related to one another, because it is the regional geography that provides input for creation of law that is then tested to various parts of the world in systematic geography. Similarly, contemporary and historical geography are also related to one another. Why? Because both of these are in a way responsible for one another. The historical geography shapes the contemporary geography, and the contemporary geography will become historical geography in the coming future. So both of them are interrelated. We deal with the nodal sorry we deal with the functional versus formal regions and other dichotomy in next video.